Dodgers get a bounce-back win over the Giants. Shohei Ohtani ends that home run drought, hits 2 bombs. Clayton Kershaw was vintage Kersh tonight, getting closer and closer to 3K. And we got a big Emmet Sheehan update. So much to talk about here on the Dodgers Nation postgame show.
It's time for Dodger baseball.
Tommy Tank strikes again, and the Dodgers lead 3-0. Gibby! Meet Freddie! Tommy sends one in the air. The other way. Back it goes! Gone! One-of-a-kind player. One-of-a-kind season.
What is up, Dodgers Nation, and welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show, the #1 Dodgers post-game show on YouTube. My name is Doug McKain, credential member of Dodgers Media. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. Thanks for rocking with us after the Dodgers get the dub. They beat the San Francisco Giants in a final score that you probably are thinking, wait a minute, wow, the Giants got some runs earlier. What was it like? No, it really should have been a shutout. We know that, but the Dodgers win. They go 11-5. Kike Hernandez close to shutting things down. They had to bring in Anthony Bonda to finish the job, but the Dodgers get the win nonetheless. They improve to 42-29. And now they're back in sole possession of first place in the National League West, up a game on the San Francisco Giants and 3 games up on the San Diego Padres. So let me know down below in the comments section. I want to know, what was your biggest takeaway from tonight's win for LA? We'll get to the comments later. But the big story tonight starts with Clayton Kershaw. Kersh was fantastic in this one. He went 7 innings, gave up no runs on just 3 hits, had 5 strikeouts and a walk. He was very efficient, 81 pitches, 56 for strikes. The ERA for the season now for Clayton Kershaw is down to 3.25. He gets the win, improves to 2-0, 27th time in his career, beating the San Francisco Giants. And I thought he was just outstanding tonight. I mean, now he's on a 12-inning scoreless streak dating back to his last start. We had 7 strikeouts, no walks against the St. Louis Cardinals. And after his 5th strikeout tonight, he's now at 2,988 strikeouts for his career. He is just 12 shy of becoming the 20th member in history to throw 3,000 strikeouts. I thought he was great in this one. That is the biggest story. We'll talk about Shohei in a minute, but we know Shohei's capable of hitting 2 home runs in a game. We know Teoscar Hernandez can get home runs in 3 straight games. We know that Mookie Betts can do Mookie Betts things at the plate and on the field. But what we didn't know heading into the season was, could Clayton Kershaw still go out there and dominate? Could he still get out big league hitters at a high clip where he's looking like an all-star, looking like a guy that can be trusted in big situations? And so far, his return, I think, has exceeded everyone in the organization's highest expectations. This is now his 6th start back, and they just keep getting better. And the thing about Kersh is he's not velocity reliant. He isn't. He's not that guy. And tonight he showed that if you're not afraid to pitch to contact, if you can hit your spots, if you can command your pitches, his curveball really has been his best pitch, his best offering. Well, you can go out there and you can have success because this guy is an absolute master at his craft. And today we saw once again what Clayton Kershaw looks like when he has command of his fastball that sets up his secondary pitches. The slider is still such a great pitch for him. I always say he's a happily married man, but he's got a slide piece, and we saw that today. And look, he had some great defense behind him in the first inning. He had the 8-pitch leadoff walk to Lee. But then he got Ramos to ground to that double play to get out of that one. Then second inning, he goes 1-2-3, soft contact. So that's another big thing today with Clayton Kershaw was we've seen in his starts, especially early on when he was returning, that, hey, even when he was getting outs, grinding out through those innings, there was a lot of hard contact against him. A lot of hard contact. And in this one, there just wasn't hard contact really outside of a couple there. I mean, the Helio Ramos one was hard contact, but I mean, you saw a lot of soft contact. He was missing barrels in this one, and he was able to work his way out of jams as well. And that's when Kersh is at his best, when he can buckle down and execute pitches. The third inning, he gave up the lead-off double to Encarnacion, bounces right back with a strikeout with that curveball in the zone. I have to point that out, just that curveball, the trust he has in that pitch, and using that slider to get double plays. Use that slider to get soft contact. So that was the big pitch and the big at-bat there, was to strike out Fitzgerald after giving up that leadoff double to Encarnacion. He gets his way out of that, works his way around that with one hit. Top of the fourth inning, I mean, he was great. I mean, top of the fourth inning, another 1-2-3 inning. I mean, the second inning was crazy too. I mean, he had a 1-2-3 inning on 4 pitches. Can't get more efficient than that. When you are getting 1-2-3 innings on 4 pitches, that is when you know that there is command of the fastball, command of the secondary stuff, and that you're inducing soft contact. And he, top of the 5th inning, gave a leadoff double, then was still able to get a big strikeout. He gets Fitzgerald with the curve a couple batters later to get out of that one. So my biggest takeaway from Kershaw's start tonight is that he can still strike out guys when he needs to, but he can also pitch to contact when he needs to too, trust his defense, and use that slider to miss barrels. And if he's doing this, when you look at the depleted rotation, hey, I said it heading into the season. This was not a situation with Clayton Kershaw where, let's bring him back because of everything he's done. And let's bring him back because it'll be his 18th year and he has to get to 3,000 strikeouts and we feel bad for Clayton Kershaw. No, you can never have enough starting pitching. And Tyler Glasnow, Blake Snell, Roki Sasaki, they're nowhere near coming back, right? They still have to go make rehab starts. And we got an update on Emmet Sheehan we'll talk about a little later. But Clayton Kershaw is playing a very pivotal role for this team when they need it the most, and that is a starting pitcher that can go out there and give you 5, 6, 7 innings. Tonight, he went 7 shutout innings for Clayton Kershaw. He became just the second Dodgers starting pitcher this season to go 7 innings. Other than Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Clayton Kershaw now is the only other Dodgers starting pitcher to complete 7 frames this season. So he showed once again, man, still got it. Not perfect, not Cy Young Kersh. I mean, not MVP Kersh, but was executing pitches when he needed to, worked his way around leadoff hits. I mean, the 6th inning, Kneisner gets that leadoff single to center and struck out Jung-Hoo Lee with the curveball. The curveball was just the best pitch for him. I mean, that is his money pitch this season. And I think that he's leaning on that pitch and he's able to throw it in the zone. And when you're getting that pitch differential where, hey, yeah, a 4-seamer at 88 miles per hour early in that bat, when you can drop that curveball with spin down to 72, that is why that 88 mile per hour fastball can play like it's 93, 94, because you're dropping it all the way down to 72. So pitchers pitch, and that's what he's doing. And he was even still able to get strikeouts later in his start. Top of the 7th inning, he struck out Flores with the slider, got him to chase. So was really impressed with Clayton Kershaw. It was another example of a guy that he can't help himself. He really can't help himself. If he's going to pitch, if he's going to continue to play this game, he's going to want to do it at the highest level that he's capable of doing it at. And tonight was another example of him doing that. Like Steven Nelson said, and when I was thinking was, hey, death taxes and Clayton Kershaw dominating the San Francisco Giants, right? I mean, that's what we've seen from him his entire career. Tonight was another great example of that. I think the question, big picture with Clayton Kershaw becomes, wait a minute. If he pitches like this, continues to get better, what is his role in the postseason? If they have 3 or 4 guys, and what is his role? Right? I mean, is it a 4 starter? It's a champagne problem that I hope we get to have when we get there. But I think that he's pitching better than anyone could have hoped, and he's only getting better, and we're getting close to that 3,000 strikeouts. But here was Clayton Kershaw down in the Dodgers clubhouse right after the game, talking about his 2nd win of the season and another great start. in what is going to be a future first ballot Hall of Fame career.
Clayton, just 7 shutout innings from you tonight. You talked about it after your last outing that you kind of wanted to make a few adjustments, but that you were moving in the right direction. How did you find just how this one went for you?
Well, our offense is so good. I think that it's really important to get some zeros on the board early, and you can see what they do. I think if they feel the momentum, they start swinging the bats, and so from there, when you get that early lead, you just try and pound the zone as best you can. And it wasn't like amazing. There were some pitches that I backed up that they hit the ball hard at guys, but overall to be efficient, get through 7 was a good day.
Just kind of moving along with your progression, are you finding that you're getting closer and closer to where you want to be with each start?
I think now it's just kind of like everyone's a little bit different, which is probably a good thing. There's some things you do well, there's some things you do not so well. So, it's not going to be perfect, but learning how to adjust on the fly and, throw more strikes, which I'm able to do now, which is good. And, I think it's now just pitching, which is a good thing.
The first couple starts, you were pretty encouraged with just what everything could be for you. Is a night like tonight kind of an example of when everything's clicking, but things are kind of closer to where you kind of want them to be?
I don't think. Maybe it's my personality. I don't know. You never feel great about it. I think there's always things you want to have back, and but the results, ultimately at the end of the day, to win the game, that's the most important thing. So. In the moment, I can think of some pitches on top of my head that I'd like to have back, that I'd like to throw better, but, there's no restrictions physically, health-wise, which is great. And, like I said, it's just kind of pitching now, which is good.
What do you think of the slider and the curveball just be better these last couple outings?
I think my slider wasn't very good today. My curveball was better, though. I don't know. Just a different day, I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
I know 3,000 been kind of things basically all year, but just 12 away, does that make it feel more real, like it's right there?
Yeah, maybe by September I'll get there. We'll see. It's obviously a very cool thing and starting to get a little more on the forefront of the mind, but who knows how long 12 could take me at this point. It might be until August, so we'll see.
Did you get like a feeling when you're going off the mound at the end of the 7th, just the ovation the crowd was giving you?
Yeah, it was special. I honestly didn't know if I was done or not, so I didn't want to come out of the moment too much. But I love pitching here. I don't take it for granted. Who knows how many I've got left here, so I'm just going to enjoy it. And it's special anytime somebody cheers for you like that. It's pretty special.
Considering there's no spring for you, how much for those first couple starts you're just trying to catch up and fine tune
the ramp up? That's what rehab's for. Yeah, that's what rehab's for. I had plenty of starts beforehand. It's just there's no substituting big league game, big league competition. You just have to get out there and get the reps.
Did you end up hearing from Zach after passing him on the strikeouts?
No, I didn't hear him.
Thank you.
All right.
Clayton Kershaw, 3.25 ERA. A great day for the goat shop, man. I mean, the Kershans rise, right? I mean, it's a day for him, I think, that you look at and you just kind of feel to yourself, hey, man, this guy is going to embrace that 3,000 strikeout plateau when he gets there. And look, I mean, but aside from all the, for me, it's like, okay, cool. Like, we'll experience the whole, Clayton Kershaw appreciation day and kind of the last dance, and we'll give him his flowers and all that great stuff and all about that. And we'll get there when we get there. But that's not how I'm viewing Clayton Kershaw right now. I really am not. I'm viewing Clayton Kershaw as a healthy arm, then go out there and start when you have a depleted rotation. I'm looking at a guy that has a job to do. And that's how I'm viewing Clayton Kershaw. I love to see it. I love that he still feels like, okay, the slider wasn't great tonight. As I point out, that curveball really was his best pitch. And when he has a feel for that, I think early in starts is to identify what's working for him and just going back and spamming that if you need to. And it was great to see. But let me know down below in the comment section, are you buying Clayton Kershaw as a major impact pitcher for this team? I mean, what are your thoughts? Is this something to build on? Are you buying me 12 straight scoreless innings? He looks good. Command is better. Let's see. Delirium 9 back in first place. 12 strikeouts away from 3,000. A post game in the UFC. Let's go. William Kai, what is up? MH, this win was delicious after yesterday's letdown. Yeah, I want to wait there. But you know what? I want to buy. Look, we're going to get to Shohei real quick. I just want to point out, why was Kike squeezed late in this one? This is another example. Last night, Beck was terrible. Adam Beck did an awful job as an umpire. We need the ABS, automated balls and strikes. And yes, Yamamoto didn't get a lot of swing and miss. He had more walks than swings and misses. But still, that was terrible umping that led to a grand slam yesterday. And tonight we saw the same exact thing for the Giants in this one. We saw the same thing in this one. And you just hate to see that. You really hate to see that. I mean, with KC Schmidt getting that grand slam and Kike getting squeezed. But on the offensive side, look, last night was a different story. The Dodgers had one player that was able to get a hit. That was Teoscar Hernandez. Tonight was a different story. The Dodgers, they out-hit the Giants 11-6. You had contributions up and down this Dodgers lineup, but it started with Shohei Ohtani, who heading into this one had an OPS in June that was not anywhere close to what we've seen from Shohei throughout his career. If you guys know, June Tani is a thing, and that is when Shohei Ohtani enters June, he goes on a heater. He has a tear. Heading into tonight's game, Shohei had a 671 OPS in June. That was the lowest of his career at any point during this month. And he made a statement early on. He had been on a 10-game homerless drought. Well, in that first inning, the drought was over. Shohei hit a bomb 4 pitches into the game, and that gave the Dodgers a 1-0 lead.
This 2-1 is clobbered to right field, way back, and way gone!
So Shohei Ohtani's 24th home run of the season gave the Dodgers an early 1-0 lead. And the Dodgers offense, they were ready against Roop. I mean, they were ready to go out there and show that yesterday was an aberration. They didn't get much later in that first inning, but they jumped to the second inning, and that was the big one for the Dodgers. Teoscar Hernandez leaded things off with a walk. Max Muncy got a walk, so back-to-back free passes for LA. Then Andy Pages, he stepped up to the plate with runners on first and second. He singled to center. That put the Dodgers up 2-0. And then how about Michael Conforto? Let's get a Michael Conforto check. How's Conforto doing? Well, it was a good at-bat for Conforto in this one. He steps up to the plate, aggressive early in the count, sees a changeup, middle, jumps on it, and that gave the Dodgers another run. He doubled to right. That scored Muncy, and that put the Dodgers up 3-0.
Now here's Michael Conforto. First pitch pulled to right field. This ball's going to get down and get all the way to the wall. Muncy scores. Stop sign held up for Pages at third. RBI double for Michael Conforto. The Dodgers are rolling in the second.
And then a couple batters later, of course they do what they always do in those situations, like we've seen all season long. With first base open, you are going to walk Shohei Ohtani. It was an intentional walk to Shohei to get to Mookie Betts. And Mookie Betts has mentioned this, that he does want to make them pay. It is the MJ for the Last Dance meme. He did take it personally. And Mookie Betts, he steps to the plate, a 1-1 count, bases loaded. He almost hit one out, but he hits one off the wall in left. That scored 2 more runs. Pages and Conforto cross home plate, and that makes it a 5-0 game.
The 1-1 is blasted left field at the wall. It's off the base of the wall. Pages scores. Conforto behind him. Mookie Betts plates a pair with a double.
So Mookie, he's been fantastic since coming back with the foot injury, and Mookie is starting to look like Mookie of old, like Mookie of 2020, 2021, 2022, where he was about 40-50% above league average at times. And during his career, he's played at MVP level with the stick. Tonight, after another really nice night for him, having that double, goes 1 for 4. Mookie is up to a 267 batting average, but he's now up to 20% above league average, a 120 weighted runs created plus. So things continue to trend the right direction for Marcus Lynn Betts. Still playing really good defense, but the bat has come around. Then bottom of the third inning, how is Ha-Seong Kim doing? Oh, so many storylines for this team, right? And tonight, Ha-Seong Kim getting the start. How did he play? Defensively made some really nice putouts. Bottom of the third inning, Max Muncy, another guy, still continue to produce. He doubles. Couple batters later, Ha-Seong Kim at the plate. He loops one into center field. That scored Muncy. Made a 7-0 game. So good game for Ha-Seong Kim. I considered a good game anytime he's in there and he's continuing to produce, and he did just that. And give Ha-Seong Kim credit, too, being able to plug him in and taking advantage of any opportunity that he's getting. I think the organization admires the fact that you can put him in if he's missing a couple days, or you give him a couple days off, or you put him in late game substitution. He is going to embrace any role that he has for this team. And that is, I think, what makes him a special player for this team potentially, is that, hey, if he's going to sit him, fine. He's going to have that $1 million smile. He's going to go out there and he's going to perform. By the way, I thought it was really cool. They shared a story during the game where Jung-Hoo Lee, I thought I was going to shed some tears of joy. It put me in the feels. Jung-Hoo Lee said, when Jung-Hoo Lee was asked about playing with Ha-Seong Kim, his teammate from Korea, and he said, "Oh, are you gonna feel any type of way playing with him?" And he said, "Yeah, when the game starts, no, but hey, they'll always be a part of Ha-Seong Kim that's always in my heart." I was like, "Oh," it's like when you're watching a 90s sitcom or something, you got that "oh" reaction. It's kind of how I felt just watching that. So I thought that was cool to see that. And it's great to see Ha-Seong Kim continue to produce in the opportunities that he's given. But I want to see more Ha-Seong Kim. Free Ha-Seong Kim. So the Dodgers cruising this one. Then bottom of the 6th inning, Shohei Ohtani back at the plate, and it looks like now Juntani is official. 1 home run. I'm like, okay, fine. Maybe I need to see more to think that it's going to be Juntani. But he steps up there in the 6th inning. The Dodgers already up 7-0, and a really good at bat too. Really good at bat. Look at where he hits this one. He takes a curveball on the outer half, and he pulls it 77 miles per hour. He's able to get it out. Shows you the strength of Shohei, and it shows you how he's able to get those hands out and use those hands, and it was a really impressive home run for Shohei.
To Ha-Seong Kim. Ohtani with a missile to right field. Does it have enough carry? It sure does.
So Shohei gets his 25th home run tonight. Also the 250th home run of his career. And look, the strikeouts have been up. He hasn't been hitting for as much power of late. He's going to go on a heater. That just tells me he's due. I never wake up at 3:30 in the morning in a cold sweat thinking about, oh, what's wrong with Shohei Ohtani at the plate. Look, I think he's getting closer and closer to making his pitching debut with the Dodgers. And I think that that's got to be had. There's all kinds of stuff he's dealing with, and he's still excellent. I mean, you still look at his numbers. He's in 290, and he has a 177 weighted runs created plus. So to kind of simplify that for you, a 177 weighted runs created plus means 100 is league average, and he is 77% above league average. Last year when he won the MVP, he was 81% above league average. So he's just 4 points below where he was in his MVP season last year. So not worried about Shohei. I think he's going to explode. A Juntani is coming, and here was him just minutes ago down the Dodgers clubhouse.
Shohei, as much as it's been 10 days without a home run, it's really not that many in the grand scheme of things. Just how good did it feel, not only to have 1 home run, but just showing power in 2 at-bats today?
久しぶりのホームランだったと思いますけども、1本ではなく2本打てたっていう中では感触的にはどうでしたか？
だいぶ長いこと打ってないなとは思ってたので、2本とも比較的ホームランでしたし、1本目はやっぱり最初の先制するという意味ではやっぱ大きい1本だったかなと思います。
It did feel like, I haven't hit a homer in a while. In terms of the context of the 2 homers, I think the first homer was more significant, just being able to score early in the game.
Are there any adjustments that you've made just to get back to showing that power at the plate?
調整はしたんですか？
そうですね、比較的やっぱり構えが大事だと思ってるので、そこを重点的に試合前はチェックして入りました。
Yeah, just making sure that my posture is in a good position.
How have you felt physically as you've kept ramping up as a pitcher, and how much has your daily routine changed the last couple of weeks as your pitching workload has increased?
そのリハビリが結構多めになってきている中、その体の状態っていうのは影響しているのかと。
そうです。実戦 形式の練習で球数を投げるっていうのはそれだけ負荷が高いので、もちろんやらないよりやった方がなんですかね、体に返ってくる負担というのは大きいとは思いますけど、必ず取らないといけない道ではあるので、集中してどちらも調整したいなと思います。
The live BP is really an important part of the progression. The intensity is different, so how that feels to my body is going to be different as well. But it's something that I do have to go through to make sure that my body feels right.
Is that something where your body just has to get used to the physical workload of hitting and pitching at the same time again? And how long do you feel like it needs to feel is normal for you again doing both?
二刀流っていう負荷がかかることっていうのはちょっと時間がかかることなのか大事なことなのか慣れるっていう意味では。
どうですかね、去年は DH だけで出ましたけど、どちらかというと、2つ同時にやっていくのがなんていうんですかね、通常のスタイルではあるので、特にあんまり気にすることなく、復帰したら復帰したで今まで通り、逆にそれが今まで通りだなと思って入ればいいんじゃないかなと思ってます。
I do feel like just being the two-way player that I used to be was the norm. So last year really was the abnormal year, and for me it's about really getting back to what I used to do.
How close do you feel to be game ready as a pitcher?
試合に向けての準備はあとどのぐらい必要ですかね。
球数にもちろんよるとは思いますけど、前回の登板も強度的にも問題なかったですし、十分試合で投げれるレベルには近づいているかなと思ってます。
I think it has a lot to do with pitch counts, but with the last live BP, I felt like the intensity was there, and I felt like my stuff was game ready.
Last one, guys. Dave said that there was a chance that you could be back on the mound before the All-Star break. Do you think that's something that's reasonable in terms of pitching in big league games before the All-Star break?
オールスター前で復帰するっていうのはありえそうな可能性ですか。
どう思いますかね、逆に。
What do you think?
そんな感じですね。
Thanks, guys.
Something like that.
I love it. That's what I would have asked him. Hey, do you think you could pitch before the All-Star break? Do you want to? And he kind of left it vague. I know definitely based on that body language, that smile on his face, he's itching to get back on the mound. That's what I've heard. The intensity has been up for Shohei, using pitch comp, going to the slide step, using the windup, going through game situations with runners on base. He got 15 swings and misses. The sweeper looked really, really good the last time out against rookie ball hitters. So, hey, I know that they have to at least be strongly considering at this point. And it looks like it's almost go time for Showtime. And that's going to be one of the most electric regular season, highly anticipated games that we've seen in a long, long time. I cannot wait. Shohei Ohtani on the mound in Dodger Blue. Inject that in my veins. I find it kind of crazy. Kike Hernandez has more strikeouts as a pitcher right now than Shohei Ohtani. And that's going to change very, very soon. And it's going to be extremely exciting. And look, we've seen the last couple weeks, he's been expanding at pitches out of the zone, missing pitches that he's hit for big bombs this season. So I think from a rhythm standpoint, a timing standpoint, he's really locking himself in. And then, as you point out with the posture, that is always kind of what you want to see. He needs to be connected to the ground with his lower half, and everything is a part of that. And that second home run, getting his hands out there to kind of pull a 77-mile-per-hour curveball, that tells you that the timing is there and that June Tani is upon us. But another big takeaway. Let's read some comments, too. Let's read some comments before we get to the next big takeaway. Welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. The Dodgers destroy the Giants. Kershaw dog, what is up? Got a super chat here. Mark Cruz, $2. Kershaw, what is up? Appreciate that. Joe, we've got where are all the people that kept saying Kershaw needs to retire, that he sucks? Too many hypocrites praising him now. I mean, look, I just think if you've been a Dodger fan for the last 20 years and you're hating on Kershaw, that's just weird energy, man. I got to say it. It's just weird energy. I really don't think this organization is what they are today without him. So he deserves the credit. And yeah, yes, Kersh is a legend from Ron Fig. Let Kike cook from Wadib 69. Philip Subia, he shouldn't be pitching when we are ahead. Mr. Hayes, Kersh doesn't want any flowers. Dude is doing work. Yeah, I agree. That's a good point. I think that kind of makes him feel uncomfortable. I mean, he's a guy that likes to go out there and compete at the highest level, going through his routine. And he doesn't kind of operate on that level. He just wants to feel a sense of normalcy. Absolutely. I love the way you pointed that out. But a couple more. T-Rex. Yeah, I have not been impressed with rushing. Yeah, we'll talk some rushing in a second here. But another guy we got to talk about tonight, about Mitsuyo Takeda says, today's Father's Day in Japan, a great gift for all fathers like out there. Heart emoji. Yeah, absolutely. Happy Father's Day out in Japan for sure. Roy Estrada, we'll talk some Dusame in a little bit. $4.99 super chat from David Garcia. 22 was 22. Awesome. I'm feeling 22. On a side note, what do you think about Rushing's performance at first base and getting replaced by Kiki? Yeah, I mean, it was a bad play by Rojas late in that one. Rushing hasn't played a ton of first base. He's mainly been a catcher. They've sprinkled in some corners, some first. So, yeah, I mean, it's a tough situation. For you to expect anyone to go out there at the big league level, I don't care if it's a blowout at any position, they need more games to give you any type of honest assessment. And the truth is, the first base position for the Dodgers is locked up for, at the very least, the 2 seasons after this with Freddie Freeman. And hopefully Freddie Freeman signs an extension and plays first base years after that. So the fact is, I'm not going to spend too much time talking about Dalton Rushing at first base one way or the other, just for the simple fact that that's not going to be his role for this team. I think ultimately Dalton Rushing is going to be a catcher, whether that be for the Dodgers or somewhere else, or a corner outfielder. And right now, you look at the corner outfield spots, Teoscar's locked in for 2 more seasons after this, and Andy Pages, he looks like he's a Gold Glove caliber right fielder. So you also got center field with Hesson Kim and Tommy Edman. So it doesn't seem like that is the play for him after this season. So it'll be interesting to see. But he certainly can back up Will Smith for the foreseeable future. But let's keep it moving, and let's talk about Teoscar Hernandez. Because later that same inning that Shohei hit his second home run, Will Smith singled to left, and Teoscar, he stepped into the box, and very first pitch, he does what Teoscar Hernandez does, and that is crush and punish mistakes. He is the punisher. It was a hanging curveball, and he crushed it, and it was his 3rd home run in his 3rd consecutive game with a bomb, and that puts the Dodgers up 8-0.
Teoscar Hernandez lets one fly deep to left field. Get the sunflower seeds.
So the big takeaway for Teo is maybe the groin isn't the big issue. Maybe he is getting healthy, and it was just a timing thing. And because when he's doing that, when he's driving the ball to center field, when he's pulling balls on the inner half and doing what he needs to do at the plate for himself, then you start to feel really good about it. Because when you start to see him doing things like that, squaring up balls to deep center field, going opposite field, getting the backspin on the balls, that tells you that he's really, really locked in from a timing standpoint and that he's not in between anything. He's also seeing it really well. So I think that we're starting to kind of hit an ebb and a flow for a season, and the ebb now is, Mookie has put together a couple really good weeks offensively. Shohei is heating up June Tani. Teoscar Hernandez is heating up. Max Muncy has been consistent ever since he was red hot. He's been able to maintain that to a certain extent. Mile Conforto is hitting more than he's been. Andy Paz is still hitting. Will Smith, Tommy Edman, we are close to seeing what this offense is capable of. And yes, not everyone's going to be hot at the same time, but still, this could be the start of guys staying healthy for an extended period of time and no holes in the bottom of the lineup. I mean, let's step into the box for a second here, and let's look at the box score for tonight's game. And in this one, you look at the offensive numbers for the Dodgers in this one. After getting just one player involved yesterday, where Teoscar Hernandez was the only Dodger to muster up a hit, the top of the order they came through. Shohei goes 2 for 3, 2 home runs, 2 walks. Mookie Betts goes 1 for 3 with the 2 RBIs. Freddie Freeman, he struck out in a couple big spots. I mean, in that big spot there, we had a chance to put the Dodgers even more ahead against the Giants, and he was able to get 2 walks still, though. So that definitely is still productive. He's still hitting .338, going through a little bit of a lull for his season. Then Will Smith goes 1 for 4. Teoscar goes 1 for 3. Miguel Rojas was able to get a home run off a position player later. Max Muncy goes 2 for 3 in this one. Pa has 1 for 5. Conforto 1 for 5. Haesung Kim 1 for 4. So the bottom of the lineup producing, the top of the lineup producing, the middle of the lineup producing. More hits than the Beatles in the 60s and early. I mean, it's just incredible when you look at what this team was able to do offensively, and it's a little snapshot of what they're capable of. Yes, it's very frustrating. It's very frustrating to see this team go through the slumps they go through, and yesterday was the perfect example against Logan Webb, where this Dodgers team last season was great against elite starting pitching. This year, they've struggled against pitchers to start things off, and then they beat up on relievers in the middle innings, and then that's kind of been their recipe for success. Well, tonight it was good to see them have success against the starter and have 4 home runs against the team that's the best in baseball at neutralizing the home run ball, and that's what the San Francisco Giants have been. The Giants have had a great bullpen all year. They've kept the ball in the yard, and tonight the Dodgers kind of reversed their trends that you didn't like seeing this season, whereas they have been great against starters, and they were able to hit the long ball against the Giants. That definitely was very promising. Because, look, I mean, I think it's pretty remarkable the Dodgers are still in first place, and they're kind of right there as far as best records go, and they haven't come close to playing their best baseball, even with the offensive players that have stayed healthy collectively at the same time, and their starting rotation has been depleted. So I think they're timing their peak at the best possible time. So I feel really encouraged by the production that we've seen in this last week, where it's been this kind of gauntlet against NL West opponents. If you could make it out of this 10-game stretch and you're still a game or 2 ahead in first place, the Dodgers, down the stretch, they have the easiest schedule, and they're getting healthy. So all these, it has been a fun last couple of months, because they're playing just slightly above 500 baseball after that 8-0 start. But I think it's going to start to have that Dodgers summer feel pretty soon here. And I think tonight was kind of a preview of that with what this offense did against the Gigantes at the Ravine. Now, a couple more takeaways in this one. I want to point out the fact that Michael Kopech looks solid in this one. And that's a big wild card for me. He was one of my top 5 X factors for this team, just because he was coming back off an injury. He has dealt with injuries during certain spots of his career. And if he can come back and pitch like we saw him pitch last season, well, it's going to change what the Dodgers do. Because if he's out there pumping 100, challenging guys, you don't have a lot of guys in the bullpen that can do what Michael Kopech does. And that is throw extremely high velocity, work the upper quadrants of the zone. That's what plays in the postseason. So to have a healthy, productive, confident Michael Kopech, that's going to be extremely significant for this Dodgers team. And I think tonight was a big step in the right direction. It was the best that Kopech had looked this season. He pitched the 8th inning. Yes, it's a 10-0 game, low leverage situation, but he went 1-2-3, and he had bookend strikeouts. He struck out Encarnacion with a cutter down the way, and then Keisner with the 4-seam fastball 98. So you're looking to see that go up as well. So that definitely was extremely encouraging, to say the least. And you look at the Dodgers pitching in this one, hey, the bullpen is going to be intact with that 7 shutout innings from Kersh. Kopech getting the job done. Yes, you had to use Anthony Bonda to get an out because Kike got squeezed by another terrible home plate ump, and he really should have finished the job, but still he went out there and he had a nice strikeout. I will give him that. And I hope that this doesn't mean we're going to see less Kike Hernandez moving forward, because they were smart in doing what they did and going to a position player in that situation, and you got to play within the rules. So, all right, let's hear from Dave Roberts. Here was Doc just a few seconds ago from the Dodgers clubhouse talking about the Dodgers' 11-5 win over the Hated Ones.
I was seeing parts of that. I think that just knowing it's a big series, I think being able to try to stay away from as many guys in the pen as we could. I think that to build on his last outing, all that stuff I think played into his mindset going into tonight. And There's just a lot better strike throwing for me. I thought the curveball was the best it's been since he's been back. And he was efficient. I mean, he worked ahead all night long and put the pressure on those guys, and found a way to get through 7 really efficiently and put us in a good spot tonight.
To see how they were able to get things going early, get the starter of the game, just kind of getting back to their true self, Shohei Ohtani showing power. How did you see them just kind of come together as a collective?
I just thought tonight we just had a really good team approach. I thought we, took walks when we needed to, ran deeper counts, and certainly slugged. But if we're walking and slugging, we're as good as anyone. And certainly Shohei, showed out tonight and had a really good night too.
Did you realize that it had been 10 games since he had last homer?
No, I didn't realize that. So he has a way of making up for things and, leveling things out. So hitting 2 homers tonight gets him, I guess, back on track.
Did it feel like it had been that long? It's obviously he's not the only cog in the offense, but a big part of it setting the tone.
Yeah, I think it seemed like a while. I think that there was a lot of chase down below, in the last 10 days, and so tonight he got the ball up, used the big part of the field, and put some good swings together. But yeah, I mean, when he goes, it makes life a lot easier for all of us.
Skip, Kershaw said he didn't think his slider was where it needs to be tonight. What did you see from him?
I just thought he mixed well. I thought his fastball to the glove side was good. I thought he used the curveball well. I thought he and Will sequenced well to work the front to back game, which I think gave him a little bit more margin for the slider, and it might not have been as good as the last one, but that's pitching. You're not going to have your ace stuff, all the time, but how do you navigate hitters when you don't? And I think today the curveball, the fastball, glove side played.
You've talked about kind of how you have to manage your expectations with Clayton differently this season. Where do you feel that he is kind of just like the potential of like where he could be this year?
I think this is, I think that there's some refinement as far as, doing whatever he wants with the slider, having the fastball command, the glove side command, the arm side when he wants it, mixing in the curveball when he needs it. That's, that's kind of the goal, I guess, but you're not going to have that every outing. But I think that the quality of strike throwing, the being able to get ahead, putting the ball in play early, being efficient, those are things that's where we need him to be going forward.
What was the conversation after 7? Was he trying to go back out there?
No, he was good. He was good. I think that that was the first time he's gotten to the 7th inning too in quite some time. So that's all he needed to give us, and yeah, did a really good job saving the pen tonight.
That's not Kike's first job. What did he was doing out there? How unsettling did that get after a while?
No, it was just, it's kind of, you're trying to, in a game like that, every arm, every inning, certainly in this series to help us win tomorrow. We got the Padres for 4 coming up, so all that stuff matters. And we tried to, squeeze an inning, but we had to get banned in the game. And, I still feel that it was, 100th percentile outcome tonight as far as using one reliever, or 2 relievers actually.
If you got into a lopsided game again a couple weeks down the road, would you consider throwing Shohei in the 9th just to get his feet wet?
Probably not. I think with Shohei, it's kind of be when he does pitch, it's going to be to start the game or open a game, whatever it is. Thanks, guys.
There he goes, Dave Roberts. Yeah, Shohei, you're not going to see him in those situations. He's going to be used to start games because that's his routine. Okay, let's go. Do we have a Dodger Discord? Yes, we do. Join it. The Dodgers Nation Discord, thousands in the chat at all times. Timmy Turner, 12 more Ks at that for 3,000. Vesia caught at least 2 home run balls. Yeah, how about that? Alex Vesia's really good snagging those. Let's read some more comments here. Jeremy Buckley, that's a fire take. Teoscar H.R. Nandez, I like that. I see what you did right there. Matthew Snyder, when Teo isn't chasing on the left side of the plate, he's dangerous. Absolutely. I mean, that slider low and away can get to him, but when he's seeing it really well and he's making pitchers throw stuff in the zone, he's going to capitalize of it. Absolutely. Is Yoshi injured? No, I don't think he is, and we'll kind of save some stuff for Monday with the Yoshi talk, but I don't think that he is injured. I mean, he is just 4 starts away from matching the amount of starts he had last season. He's just 12 innings away. So I'm curious to see how he really feels about the workload. I'll ask him next time for sure. So quick update before we head out of this one, though, is good news on the Emmet Sheehan front. So Emmet Sheehan was in the Dodgers clubhouse today, had a locker, and the Dodgers are planning to activate Emmet Sheehan from the 60-day IL very soon, and he's going to join the Dodgers rotation when he's activated. They don't know exactly when they're going to do that yet. They're going to make that decision after he throws his next bullpen session. When he does come back, it's going to require a 40-man roster spot, so they're going to have to make a corresponding move, so they're going to get to that. So they definitely have some maneuvering to do. So he's going to join that rotation. You look at the Dodgers rotation. Clayton Kershaw, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Dustin May, Ben Kasparius. And so it's interesting to see what they're going to do. I mean, you got some of those guys, the Robleskis, the Bobby Millers, the Landon Knacks. I think Sheehan is going to try to solidify that role as best as he can. So let's not forget, Shohei is on the horizon as well. So that is where that's at. But all right, let me read all your comments for the rest of the show. Do some comments here. We got the Dong Yi. Dodgers could hit against Cease and Webb. Yeah, they haven't been well. Free Kim from Garish. Kike was painting the corners at key moments. He was robbed of a perfect inning. Yeah, absolutely, man. It's ridiculous. Garish Quam. Seriously. I mean, can someone take... Kike needs to take the umpire to the same optometrist he went to have Kike give him his glasses. I mean, come on now. Yeah, I was talking about Joe Kelly. Yeah, Joe Kelly was there tonight, got his World Series ring. Always great to see. Super chat, $20 from Parker Lee. I was talking ish about Roberts giving guys chances before pulling them, but I'm willing to admit that a lot of the players that weren't producing are turning it around. Maybe his strategy is working. Def more patient than me. Yeah, look, I mean, it's a long season, and these are all talented hitters that have had success at various parts of their career, so they're willing to bet on that. Absolutely. Ketchup, D-Mac, how many tortas can you handle? If I'm really hungry, probably like 2 or 3. But, yeah, I mean, I got to be pretty starving. But absolutely. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this episode. We'll do a couple more. We'll do a walk-off shot here. Besides Joe Davis, I love Rick Monday. That's from T-Rex. Yeah, absolutely. No doubt about it. I love Rick Monday. No doubt. 818 LAR Rika. I'm sorry about your super chats. My producer didn't send them to me today, so we'll kind of get on top of that, and I'll read them on Monday's show. So, yeah, we'll definitely get you onto that. But, all right, guys, that's going to do it. Thank you for joining us here on the Dodgers Nation postgame show. Enjoy your Saturday night. Enjoy your Father's Day. Hopefully, Max Muncy, he's the Giants' daddy. He gets a home run tomorrow, so I want to hopefully see that. And we'll talk what the moves they're going to make. Jack Geezy, Philip Subia, Zenji, Henry Huang. All you guys, appreciate you on a Saturday night rocking with us here on the Dodgers Nation post-game show. Felix, Kike ain't going nowhere. Guaranteeing go 0 for 150 and will still produce in October. That's my comment of the show. Absolutely. Beer Samba, shout out to Kike for getting that strikeout. Craig says Joe Kelly waiting on that strikeout. Okay, guys. Wait on that contract. All right, guys, that's going to do it. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. If you haven't yet, do me a huge favor. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. Hit the like button. Remember that nothing brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
Start the party, Los Angeles! Your Dodgers have won the World Series!
And when the upcoming winter gives way to spring, rest assured, once again, it will be time for Dodger baseball.